uniforms. Cal in the home navy and gold pants, and we're ready for the first kickoff of the college football season.
I was always better after the kickoff than before, I'll tell you what, as a coach.
The formal countdown to kickoff. So Melky Stovall is back to receive. Rigoberto Sanchez with the onside kick attempt on the opening kick of the season, and it looks like Cal is on the ball.
That takes a lot of courage by the Hawaii team to try that on that first play, but heads up by the Cal team. You've got to make sure you don't turn and run away. You watch the ball where it's kicked. Really pretty good execution right there. Great job by Cal to recover that onside kick attempt.
Patrick Laird with the recovery of the onside kick. So Cal's offense onto the field, already up over the ball and ready for the first play from scrimmage of this new to lay off. Had him lined up if he caught the ball. Here's the run. Again, it's Muhammad. He could go and will. Khalfani Muhammad with the Cal touchdown. "34 yards into the end zone."
That's the speed factor that we talked about, and that was a draw play. We'll take a look at it a little bit later, but when you're playing the pass and you're trying to get up the field to pressure the quarterback, playing coverage behind, when you run the draw play and get past the first wave, it's really tough on the secondary.
Muhammad, the senior from Inglewood, California, the Cal leader in rushing yards per carry a year ago, the active leader in rushing yards for the Golden Bears. Gets the touchdown, and Matt Anderson puts the try through. So Davis Webb's first drive as Cal quarterback winds up pretty well.
Here we take a look. See the quick handoff there. It's just inside to pull the off guard. And then there was nobody there in the middle of the field. Obviously caught Hawaii by surprise. But great speed and ability to finish. So you can just run away. That's the speed. That's surprising to have a guy that's your 4th and 1 back, which is typically a power back. But you also notice a little nerves. Now it's about survival. It's about execution. It's about performance.
Woolsey has time and throws complete. First down yardage across the middle. And their leading receiver from a year ago, Marcus Kemp, has the ball.
Marcus Kemp plays on the right side. Marcus Kemp is also on the leadership council. He's one of the guys that the coaches have designated. Here's a nice job looking off. You see him look to the left, sort of freezes the underneath coverage, comes back to his big receiver over the middle, who takes a great hit there. I'll tell you what, you're going to have to think twice about going across the middle to keep getting hit like that.
You keep getting 18 yards of pop across the middle, and you'll keep doing it, right?
You're right. You're right.
This time they go outside, and it's Kemp again. Makes a man miss. To the 10, still in bounds. Touchdown, Hawaii.
That was a great job by Kemp. It was a nice throw. Perfect timing on the throw that got him. But he makes 2 moves here that changes this from just an ordinary possession to a touchdown.
What a shot of confidence for the Rainbow Warriors, too.
Watch this right now. He's already eluded one guy. Look at that step and move right there to stay in bounds, sort of steps over, regains his balance. That's a tremendous job.
Rigoberto Sanchez handles the point after try successfully. Yeah, you can see the grass, the green grass, between the white cleat and the white sideline, so no question about it. And Hawaii ties the ball game halfway through the opening quarter of the season. College football playoff, and the things the committee views as important are these great non-conference matchups we're seeing early in the season. So 4th and 3 here for Cal at the Hawaii 25.5-yard line. Under pressure, Webb throws and caught for a first down. Vic Enwere gets the catch and moves the sticks for the Golden Bears.
Nice job. That's very impressive by Davis Webb, because he didn't.
Sidestep. Brandon Singleton inside the 20-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds.
One of the things that I noticed in looking at Jared Goff versus Davis Webb. Davis Webb has a longer delivery, so the ball's going to take a little longer to get out of his hands, which some of these timing plays that rely on the quickest release possible are going to be a little bit slower than last year.
Going for it. And caught. Touchdown, Cal. Chad Hansen.
He's the veteran in that group, like I said, and they talked about him. He was going to come into his own this year.
Ooh, did I just see a little Australian rules football referee score signal there from Hansen?
Probably. I'm sure that they've seen it. Probably practiced it a little bit.
Oh, fun if it is.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. Here's the ball's out really quick. Perfect placement on this throw. Fights the defender off a little bit, but goes up and makes a great catch. Comes down with the feet in the end zone. Tremendous pass in terms of placement. Nice catch.
Matt Anderson knocks through the point after try, so Webb leads his second scoring.
At the pistol here, it looks like they're lining up in it. Oh, they came out.
Hands off. Big hole up the middle. St. Just still going. Can he get the corner? Touchdown, Hawaii.
We're going to watch on the replay because Woolsey is 30 yards down the field, leading and blocking and trying to direct his running back. Cut behind me, which he eventually did.
Well, that was a quick strike drive. And Diosemy St. Just into the end zone for the second Rainbow Warrior score.
This is just a simple type of read. They trap inside with the tackle, come down, but Cal's defense inside right now is getting handled, and they're penetrating too far on the outside, so they have nobody to squeeze that hole down.
There was 11, the quarterback, like you said, waving, come on around. Sanchez with the point after try, and a tie ball game.
They talked about Diosemy was going to put on a show, they thought. He has that speed here. He does a nice job of cutting back, and that's Ikaika right there down the field blocking for him. And he's got the speed and the ability to finish, which is what you want in a great back.
So 3 plays, 64 yards, and a score in 1 minute and 17 seconds. And a 53-yard touchdown run for Diosemy St. Just gets the tying score for Hawaii. Third and a bunch. But on the ground near side and not get much of that bunch. Yeah, he stepped on the sideline a ways back there. And whistle dead. Watson kept going. Of course, played to the whistle, right?
Yeah, that was close. That's about inches away from being a touchdown. They're running the speed option here, and you can see this is not something. This is the ball's already pitched right here. Just nice job enough to get the heel. And I'll tell you what, the heel wasn't completely down, but it was over the line for sure.
And so the field goal unit will make the late run onto the field. Matt Anderson, the redshirt junior kicker, took over the team's kicking duties a year ago and led the team in scoring. He tees it up and snakes it through those specially imported goalposts for this American football game in Sydney.
Where did those goalposts come from?
Those came from the United Kingdom, from the company that does the goalposts for the NFL games in London. Cal shipped a set of goalposts over a couple of months ago for their practice field at the University of New South Wales. All the things you have to think about to have a football game in Australia.
That's crazy. There's a lot of logistics, and especially if
the new offensive coordinator alongside Coach Sonny Dykes watching his offense try and go for it here. 3rd down and 5, met in the backfield for no gain. The Hawaii defense up to the task.
Well, the pass fake didn't stop the guys coming off the edge. That was a blitz all the way by Hawaii's defense. They obviously trust their corners in man-to-man coverage because that was a man blitz.
Jelani Tavai there, 31 with the contact and the stop. So now it's 4th down and goal, and the field goal unit on Matt Anderson. The left footer on the hold of punter Dylan Klum.
Even though you're going to get points, this doesn't feel as good for Cal. This is one of those moral victories for the Hawaii defense to keep them from getting in the end zone.
So second successful field goal for Anderson, a 6-point lead for Cal, 20-14.
which was crucial. It still allowed them, Cal, to get points on the board.
Noah Beto kicks off. Hawaii's going to bring it out. Ball is loose. Keelan Ewaliko was hit hard. Flag is down. We'll check the marker. Cal has the ball off the fumble.
Check out what the penalty is. I'm not sure. It came with that big collision of the 2 or 3 guys. And I don't know if there was helmet to helmet or there was some type of face mask. We'll see.
Holding number 58 and holding number 38. Those penalties are declined. First down.
That's big. So Keelan Ewaliko for Hawaii gets popped
on the receiving team.
He was carrying that ball awfully loosely, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. And unfortunately, when you don't want to go up in the air unless you're trying to score a touchdown. You want to protect the ball. He also flew his arm out away from the body, which is one of the no-nos that you do as a running back or returner. And those Cal ball hawks went right for it. They got that ball out clean. The penalties were back against Hawaii holding much before that.
Ron Brown with the hit to knock the ball loose. Trey Watson. Is that Watson? No, that's Chad Hansen, who quickly makes the Bows pay for the penalty and the fumble.
Well, Cal came up with a great call there, getting the pressure look, getting all the press coverage. They ran a little wide screen where they go out and block the guy covering the receiver. He comes back in, and once you break clean that jailbreak screen, that's exactly the way that finished for them. A jailbreak all the way for a touchdown.
34 yards from Webb to Hansen. And now Matt Anderson on for the point after try.
That's that quick strike offense that Cal, the air raid, bear raid.
Turnovers don't generally lead to anything good, and this one certainly didn't for Hawaii.
Let's take a look at the top of your screen here. You're going to watch the receiver go out and block for the other guy, and then the ball is out real quick. They've got 3 receivers to the field. It's that empty set that we talked about. We're going to look right here. So you just go out and block, and that's all he does, come back in. The linemen get in front, and they make the great block right there. And then there's nobody there. Once, because the other defenders had come out to cover the 3 guys down at the bottom of the field.
They've gotten away with a lineman downfield on that one.
Well, that pass is thrown, though, at the line of scrimmage, so the lineman can actually be downfield. That's why defenders hate screen plays, because linemen can come down and block, and they see a pass, but if the pass is completed behind the line of scrimmage, as we talked about. Here you can see look off. Nice job of looking off by Davis Webb. There's the pass. And those guys, once the initial screen gets started, it's very difficult to stop. If you can stop it before he gets that head of steam, you got a chance.
Now Chad Hansen having a big day for Cal. His 9th reception for 101 yards into the end zone. And Davis Webb delivered for the Golden Bears. Something going on the trips down low here. Webb's going to try and keep it. And powers his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The big fella just pulled the rest of them in. He got a little help from one of his players who helped push the pile in. That's a huge play for Cal to come down and get that score before the end of the first half. It drives a stake in Hawaii's heart. It's a longer way back now.
You just finished talking about you can't have the long run, and when Webb first got stacked up, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, and then he found a way to push it in. And Anderson's point after try is a good one.
Against a pressure defense where they're coming with inside pressure, you love to run the speed option. This is going to the right. You see they're not going to block that outside guy. He does a great job right there, although he slips off the tackle, and Webb is high enough and tall enough, just carried the ball in. Had he pitched it, the other guy might have gone in by himself right here, but the nice scrape by the safety, though. So he did the right thing, and his own momentum, his strength, carried it in the end zone.
Nice that shoulder on Damian Packer, the safety, and pushed his way through into the end zone. So 34 14 for Cal with 7 seconds to go before halftime. First half numbers on Davis Webb: 20 of 32, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. It'll be Rigoberto Sanchez on for the field goal try. And he knocks it through. And Hawaii at least gets 3 out of that one to stop the 17 straight run that Cal had scored. 34-17 in Sydney.
And take the ball down the field, you're going to see less resistance from Hawaii.
Trying to bring some pressure from the edges, but picked up into the end zone. Touchdown. And his first for Cal from Melquise Stovall, the freshman.
That may have been a double move route just based on how open the receiver was, but great protection. There was a pressure situation. They brought a safety or an outside linebacker off the edge. You see the pressure coming from the left side of your screen. Like I said, I think it was a slant and go, maybe a sluggo type route, because obviously the DB got beat and probably had his eyes in the backfield.
So this run that the Cal offense has been on from the beginning of the second quarter continues into the third. And Matt Anderson knocks the point after try through to extend the lead, now to 41-17. Happy times down under for those with the Cal blue and gold on that made the trip. Some 7,400 miles to Sydney. Davis Webb to Melquise Stovall for the 6. You give a lot of these young men who've never been away from home at all an experience like this, of course you got to take it.
You do, and there were about a million other reasons too, but the reality is it's tremendous. One of the things that happens when you get ahead late in the game is you, on defense, you're trying to decide, okay, I want to play a lot of people, I want to get them experience, but I don't want to let the other team score. So you try to mix a blend of veterans and young guys in there and try to make sure that you appeal to the pride of the defense to not let them get in the end zone, but you want to get them meaningful snaps. They'll be on film so they can learn and evaluate each other and get better.
One of the things that stood out to me about the Cal depth chart when it came out, most schools, when they put out the depth chart, it's called a 2D. There are two players listed at most every position. Cal's had about 4 or 5 at a lot of them, and particularly on defense. They've got a lot of guys that they're trying to figure out who are going to be those 2s and 3s for them as we go through this season.
Well, they brought, I assume, everybody on the team. This is like a bowl game, and one.
There's the Hawaii touchdown. Stephen Lakalaka into the end zone for the Bows.
He just carried the ball down the field. They're going to probably say, why didn't we play him a little bit earlier?
9 carries for 58 yards, all on this drive.
And again, just power football. This is gap schemes that they talked about, running some more gap scheme stuff and putting the ball straight ahead. Let him do what he does best. One cut guy. Just put their foot in the ground and get north and south.
Sanchez knocks the try through and run the Hawaii point total up to 24. 2 minutes left, third quarter. The college football opener in Sydney. There's Muhammad all. He dropped it. He was all by himself and had a touchdown, except he forgot to bring the ball in.
Hawaii is bringing pressure, and when they bring pressure, one of those defensive guys on the outside is supposed to peel with the back if he releases. You can't get too much more wide open than this, but you can see it right there. You can see number 5 coming off the edge, was supposed to grab him, and he knew he had a touchdown. He was thinking about maybe what I want to do with the ball in the end zone. Got to catch it first. That was a look of pain on Coach Dykes' face.
It should have been. So the field goal try for Matt Anderson is good. Cal will get 3 out of that one anyway and go up by 20 points over Hawaii in this fourth quarter.
I may predict that that's the last we'll see of Davis Webb.
Served the growing interest in American football in Australia. Warren's been telling us how Super Bowl parties now are such a massive thing in Australia, as Cal's going to go into the end zone again. And a touchdown for Jordan Vesey.
You know, the air raid.
Flag on the field. We'll hang on to that in just a second.
But come back for the air raid concept is to never take the foot off the pedal. Keep the pedal to the metal.
Number 5. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Keep the pedal to the metal the entire time. And so Coach Dykes is of that same mind. Score as many points as you can. Keep your people out there. Keep throwing the ball down the field. It can be scary, but they're looking to build a tradition of something else. Hawaii, on the other hand, says, guys, we got to stop them. They're not going to stop themselves. We got to stop them.
Anderson's point after try is good. So the lead grows for the Cal Golden Bears, who are enjoying their season opening time in Australia. Into the end zone, Jordan Vesey for the Cal touchdown.
From the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah, there you go. Well, no one said it was going to be easy, but Nick Rolovich has embraced the job with enthusiasm, seizing the opportunity. He believes he can restore the pride to the Rock.
And he's hired people that have been there before, both with him as players and coaches. They all understand what it takes, and they're going to work very hard to make it happen.
Paul Harris fighting for the pylon, and he'll get into the end zone for the touchdown.
Nice patient run by Paul Harris. He weaved in and out, set up some blocks. You see they're pulling the off guard there. He gets out around the outside. Nice blocking by the wide receiver there. Ties him up. He makes the guy miss and then just tiptoes the sideline. So great patience. Nice blocking by the offense. Now, some of those guys are substitutes on the defense, and they're going to look at the film and say, I need to learn how to get off that block. I need to keep my leverage, all those type of things.
Point after try is through, and it's a 20-point game again in Sydney after an American college football in person from the sideline today.
Well, considering that it's been 30 years since we first saw college football down in Australia, remember that 1985 game down in Melbourne, as we see a first down here for the Cal Bears. They'll have a chance to maybe add one more touchdown before this whole show is over. But it's amazing it's taken 30 years from that point on to see college football in this town. Given there's 61,000 people here today, it's been a perfect afternoon weather-wise. I think the crowd has really enjoyed the show. The bands have been terrific. The marching bands, the cheerleaders as well. The cannon has been going off every time Cal score. There might be one more blast from the cannon before we get done.
Yes, sir. It has been a fun experience.
That Cal offense has had quite a day. They're over 600 yards now, total offense.
Near side, Demetris Robinson will scamper out of bounds and stop the clock with 1:06 to go. Don't forget that right after the conclusion of the game, those watching in the United States will see the trophy presentation on ESPN3. Those watching us in Australia, stay right where you are for the trophy presentation to come your way live as the Sydney College Cup trophy is presented. I understand Marshawn Lynch might be involved in said presentation.
That'll be interesting to see him. He's such an eloquent speaker, and he does a lot of that. You know, so I wonder if they have some premonition that Cal might win this game, and that's why they selected him.
So inside a minute to go in the first college football game of the season, and the beginning of what is going to be a fantastic next 10 days, a kickoff period in the sport. I think fair to call this game down under a success. Certainly the bowl week atmosphere at the beginning of the season has been fun. And we'll move ahead now. Of course, tomorrow got some action too as well. Charleston Southern and North Dakota State in our FCS showcase kickoff weekend. Those are two of the top teams in the football championship subdivision squaring off, and that one is tomorrow.
Hey, I'll take any football I can get. This time of the year, I think everybody's so hungry for a game, they're just going to watch anything they can and be excited about the fact that college football is back.
And so clock running here now with 10 seconds to go, and Cal up for a 20-point win in Davis Webb. State U as the Golden Bears quarterback. The final score in Sydney, Cal 51 and Hawaii 31. Up next, on ESPN is SportsCenter. And ESPN 3 has live coverage of the Sydney College Cup postgame trophy ceremony if you'd like to go. We thank all of the people on both sides of the ocean who did so much work to make this telecast happen. And thank those on Fox Sports Australia who've been watching in the land down under as well. For Warren Smith and Mike Bellotti, Alan Bestwick saying so long from Sydney. Trophy presentation coming right up on ESPN 3.